Shalom, I hope you all are doing well. I'm blessed and I'm back again with a quick video. Today we're going to talk about how that light in you exposes darkness. When you walk in truth, integrity, or just strive to be obedient to the Most High, it makes people uncomfortable, especially if they're hiding things, lying to themselves, or living in rebellion. Your light becomes a mirror, and some can't handle what they see in that mirror, so instead of repenting, they attack the mirror in which is you. Because that light in us exposes darkness, it often attracts hate, resistance, or spiritual attacks. But that light is also proof that the Most High is working in us and through us. Do you ever feel like just your presence convicts someone's spirit without you saying even one word? You might not be judging them, but your peace, your choices, your anointing speaks loud, and that spiritual tension starts to rise. Well, if no one's told you this, I will. Matthew 5:14 says, "You are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid." When that light is real, you don't even have to try to shine. It just happens. That's why some people suddenly act different around you. Some are drawn to it, and others flee from it. But either way, you must realize that the light is doing what it's supposed to do. So if they're reacting to your light, don't dim it, don't apologize for it, and don't let it make you bitter. It means you're walking in something real, and the Most High has placed something in you that disturbs the enemy, and that's powerful. A lot of you may not know this, but you're a threat just by existing in truth. When the Most High puts His light, His word, or His spirit in you, it automatically makes you a threat to the enemy's kingdom. And not because you're loud or flashy, but because you're awake, aware, and walking in truth. Why is the enemy so afraid or so intimidated by the truth? You want to know why? Because the truth breaks generational curses. It sets captives free. It exposes lies and shines in darkness. And that same truth disrupts strongholds, even in other people's lives, just by being near you. The enemy doesn't attack empty vessels. If you're under pressure, under attack, being lied on, or surrounded by fake love, it's because there's something valuable inside you. Did you hear me, family? It's because there's something valuable inside of you. Listen closely, family. The gifts, the calling, the peace, the wisdom, and the discernment you have, they're not ordinary. You've been marked for a purpose. And just your presence, your very being, starts to stir stuff up in people who are still bound. Some folks don't even know why they act weird around you, but the truth is, your spirit speaks before your mouth does. Your spirit speaks before your mouth does. This means that your energy introduces you before you even say one word. That presence, that light, or conviction, or even divine authority can make people uncomfortable without them knowing why. This is why you just kind of rub people the wrong way for no reason at all. And they'll say things like, "I don't know why, but it's just something about him or her I don't like." But they can never put their finger on it. That's because it's spiritual. They just don't know why and can't explain why they feel off around you. And it's not your attitude, it's your anointing. Your spirit speaks louder than your words. It's just simply discernment clashing with darkness, or light exposing something in them that they haven't dealt with. And as far as us, those of us who walk in the Most High's light, we have spiritual eyes. So we see lies, we feel energy, and discern spirits. We can sense intentions that others tend to overlook. That kind of vision is dangerous to the enemy because now you're no longer blind. Now you're no longer controllable. Now you're no longer asleep. And a lot of times, this is why people who are still plugged into the world system might mock you, isolate you, or get irritated by you. It's not just them, it's the spirit working in them. The enemy is afraid of you becoming who you really are. If you ever feel surrounded by chaos, fake people, sudden opposition, spiritual warfare, or pressure, it's often because you're on the edge of elevation. And the enemy's goal is to get you to doubt your worth, question your calling, shrink your light, and give up your post. Because if you fully step into who you are and walk in power and move boldly in the Most High, you'll be unstoppable. Examine your life, family. If you're feeling that things are heavy right now, if you're feeling that people are acting funny, or if you're feeling spiritual pressure, that's confirmation. You're walking in something real. You're chosen, you're set apart, and you carry the kind of light that makes darkness uncomfortable. It's important to be aware of this happening to you. When you feel that shift inside of you, you need to be aware of it, because that's the Most High awakening something real in you. When you begin to notice that things that used to entertain you don't feed you anymore, when you can't ignore your discernment, when you start craving truth, purity, peace, and alignment, when you feel a pulling away from certain people, places, or habits, when you're more sensitive to vibes, energy, and spiritual warfare, and when you want to move in purpose, not just survival, that's a transformation and shift happening within your spirit. You see, some people would think that this is an emotion or a mood, but it's really the Most High refining you, stripping you off the false layers and preparing you for something greater. He's setting you apart to set you up. And all you have to do is listen when he speaks and carry his presence boldly. You weren't made to blend in. You were made to be a light, and that light is getting brighter. That feeling that you have, that's the seed of something sacred growing in you. And once it starts, nothing can stop it unless you give up. What I find quite demonic is when people don't like their friends and family to change for the better. You'll notice when you begin to walk in your light and purpose that you'll start to hear that classic line that people throw out. He or she thinks she's better than us. And this is what they say when they start feeling convicted, insecure, or left behind. It's not because you said or did anything wrong. It's because your growth is speaking louder than their comfort zone. When you start to walk different, talk different, move in discipline, or you step into your purpose, people around you notice. And you don't even have to say one word. It's the way you walk now. If you notice, if you stop gossiping, they'll say, he or she think that they're holier than thou. If you don't party like you used to, they'll say, oh, you're too good now. If you start guarding your energy, they'll say you're acting funny. This is one of the number one things that really irritate me, is when you start guarding your energy, meaning you're no longer available for everyone's conversation, for every vibe, or for every environment, or even every person. Suddenly you become the one who's acting funny. But the truth is, you're just now moving with intent, with discernment, and with boundaries. Oh, people don't like those boundaries, let me tell you. One thing that I stopped doing is I stopped overextending. I stopped entertaining draining conversations. I stopped ignoring red flags just to keep the peace. I'm not acting funny, I promise you. I'm finally acting according to my spirit. Not everyone has access to me anymore. And that shift will make people uncomfortable, especially those people in your life who benefited from your lack of boundaries. Again, this is when they say you're acting funny or you think you're better than them. When the truth is, you didn't change to look down on anyone. You changed to survive, to heal, to break cycles, to follow the Most High. Their discomfort isn't proof that you're prideful. It's proof that your elevation is revealing their stagnation. It's proof that your elevation is revealing their stagnation. You're continuing to grow while they're staying the same. Some people are uncomfortable with who you are becoming because they're not ready to grow themselves. So instead of rising with you, they try to pull you back down emotionally. So that guilt-tripping line that they use, you think you're better, is often the code for, you're making me face parts of myself I'm not ready to deal with. That's why they say you think you're better. Because that's code for you're making me face parts of myself I'm not ready to deal with. But on the flip side, you'll have a select few who will really celebrate you. They're the real ones. You'll know who's really for you by how they handle your growth. Real love says, I see you're changing, that's beautiful. Or, teach me how you did that. Teach me a little bit about what it is you're doing. I might not get it yet, but I respect it. But fake love says, you think you're all that. You're acting brand new. Don't forget where you came from. Oh yeah, that is a classic. Don't forget where you came from. They always want you to remember your past. I want to talk to y'all about something that a lot of us who shine tend to go through. You know, it doesn't bother me now, but sometimes when you make accomplishments, but your friends and your family ignore your growth or don't celebrate your accomplishments, especially when you know that deep down you want their support, it can make you feel some type of way. It can really make you look at them sideways, like you're supposed to be my support system. You know, a few things can be going on. And I had a sister on the channel, she kept mentioning when I was talking about abuse, she talked about jealousy a lot in the family. Well, there can be friends and family who are jealous of your growth. Sometimes when you start to shine, it can trigger feelings of jealousy, even from people who care about you. They might not even consciously realize it, but seeing you elevate can highlight areas in their own life where they feel stuck or unfulfilled. It's an uncomfortable mirror that they may not be ready to look into. It could also be insecurity or unresolved issues. There's a saying that hurt people. If your family or friends have their own unresolved issues, your success can remind them of their own lack of progress or make them feel insecure. It's easier for them to downplay or ignore your achievements than to confront their own pain or unmet dreams. The fear of being left behind is another one. The more you grow, the more you step into new spaces that they may not be familiar with or comfortable with. Some people fear that if you keep rising, it'll create a gap between you and them. So, they act like nothing's changed or dismiss your growth as a way to keep things equal in their minds. This is a hard one, the next one, because it's hard to believe that people don't have that emotion of love in them, that emotion of embracing someone, but the next one is lack of emotional capacity. Sometimes people don't know how to celebrate others. It's not that they don't love you, but They were never taught how to properly affirm or uplift others, and it could be a reflection of their own upbringing or experiences. So in closing, it's some things I want to say. Don't dim your light. Your light is not a threat to others, it's a blessing. You were made to shine. The Most High placed something in you that will bless the world. And just because others don't acknowledge it doesn't mean that you should hide it. Galatians 6:9 says, "And let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap, if we faint not." Yahuwah sees your heart and your work. You don't need validation from others because your reward comes from Him, not from man. Keep your focus on Him and trust that He will elevate you at the right time. Forgive and move forward. It's tough when people you care about don't recognize your hard work or don't celebrate your wins, but forgiveness is key. In the end, you don't want bitterness or resentment to grow in your heart. Release those feelings to Elohim and allow Him to heal your hurt. And remember to set healthy expectations. While it's natural to want praise and recognition, setting your expectations appropriately can help guard against disappointment. People may not always acknowledge you, but that doesn't diminish your worth or your accomplishments. Sometimes your validation needs to come from within and from the Most High. And remember, just because people aren't acknowledging your accomplishments doesn't mean they're not valid. Your purpose is bigger than anyone's recognition. Your journey is for the kingdom, and you're walking it out in faith, whether anyone else sees it or not. One of the healthiest things for us to do is to surround ourselves with people who uplift us. Even if it's not your immediate circle, find a community, find people and places where you can be celebrated for your growth. Because sometimes new connections can bring the affirmation that you need to keep going. This concludes my message, family. May the Most High bless all of you who are deserving. And remember Matthew chapter 24 and verse 13. He that endures unto the end, the same shall be saved. And until my next video, Shalom.